Okay people, this is himself. Welcome back to another Tekken 7 King guide. In this video we're going to look at the season 4 changes and show you why King has been buffed again. Now one of the shared changes we got was the health. It's now 175 rather than 170. For most people this isn't a big deal, but for King it's a slight nerf. Back in season 3 we had a death trap. If you were in rage and you did death cradle and they got up and you did Frankensteiner, they were dead because low dropkick was guaranteed and that did 170 damage. Now they still have life left, but the trap was so situation specific that really it doesn't make a difference. Another shared change was delayed hop kick. In some cases the move would whiff, especially on lows that staggered. Now that shouldn't be a problem. On with the King specific changes. Change number 1, standing 4 now has increased range. Now this is a buff, but I haven't noticed anything different, so either it's very minor or something else is going on. If you happen to know what it is, let me know in the comments. Change number 2, 1+2-1 can now be cancelled. This is important because now you can hit confirm it. The idea is you use 1+2-1, see if the first hit hits, and if it doesn't, cancel it. At this stage people will be waiting for the high or mid, so what you do is take advantage of that. With 1+2-1 being a wall bouncer, that's where you want to use it, and because of that people don't want to duck, so your best options are execution drop or Irish whip. Now execution drop is good if you're close up, but if you're out of range, go for Irish whip. The feint will put you at +14 and from there you can wall splat. The danger though is that the cancel is -18 on block, so if someone's sharp, you're getting punished. Change number 3, F3, they lowered the hitbox. In season 3, the toe kick would often miss on side rolling opponents. Now against certain people who side roll left, that's less likely to happen. So basically his Oki for Tijuana Twister, Shining Wizard and Death Cradle just got buffed. Along with that, it's more likely to hit AOP, so another plus. Change number 4, F2D12. The attack startup on the third hit has been changed from 22 frames to 22 to 23 frames. Now in season 3, the last hit would sometimes whiff, especially if you were at an angle. Now with that one extra active frame, that's less likely to happen. Change number 5, DF12 is now +5 on hit rather than +3. Now what this does is it makes DF1 a true frame trap. They can't sidestep, backdash or interrupt, and if they block it, it's -1. To get them to duck, you can use throws. Giant swing catches everything and tombstone is only weak to sidestep right. What it also does is give you a mix up in the back. D2 is guaranteed, but for people who hold back, throws are possible. Giant swing will give you giant swing, but stretch buster becomes muscle buster. Obviously they can duck to escape, but to cover that we have F21. Change number 6, DF3 is now +6 on hit rather than +2. Now this is a buff, but I don't think it's a big deal. Yes, DF1 is now a true frame trap, but the move itself is not that special. Some people would say it's a good long range proc, but to me DF1 is just as good and it's -1 on block, not -9. Change number 7, while running 3+4, they lowered the hitbox. This means that you're less likely to get those situations where you go over an opponent. It also means that after a long combo, you can use this on the wall. Change number 8, full crash DF2, they increase the range and the tracking. Again, this is a buff, but I haven't noticed anything different. The move already had a great range and it doesn't seem to have changed. So as with standing 4, if you know what's going on, let me know in the comments. Change number 9, Jaguar step 2, opponent is close on hit. Now this is good. Back in season 3, if you landed this shallow, sometimes the crash throw wouldn't connect. Now that shouldn't happen. Also, in connection with this, I've been looking at some crazy tech and this buff has made it better, so if you want to see that when it comes out, make sure you subscribe. Change number 10, crouch throws, they increase the range on all of them. Now with the Jaguar step buff, this isn't that big a deal, but where it really makes a difference is against lows. If you watch my crash throws video, you'll know that the best way to use these is as a fake punish. But some lows have good range, and if you block them shallow, sometimes the crash throws wouldn't connect. Now that's less likely to happen. It also means that we can catch AOP a little bit easier. Change number 11, Giant Swing and Tombstone. They improve the tracking. Now any buff to King's Mains tools is more than welcome, but I haven't noticed any difference. Giant Swing can still be evaded and Tombstone is still weak to sidestep right. So again, if you know what's going on, let me know in the comments. Change number 12, Muscle Buster can now be buffered. This is the biggest buff of all, because now King's strongest 1+2 throw can come out of anywhere. The buff also allows you to do some special things now, but I'm saving that for a separate video, so if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. Change number 13, Figure 4 ground throw. They reduce the damage from 33 to 28. Now this is a clear nerf, and it hurts King in more ways than one. The first is that his wall combo now does less damage. They already changed the scaling all round, but for King is one step further. The only upside is that the 50-50 with Head Bomber is now more of a 50-50. The second impact is on his Rage Drive. In the air, Blue Bomb guarantees a ground throw attempt, but since Figure 4 now does less damage, our total damage is reduced. But there is one way around this. If you time the People's Elbow right, it will be +4 rather than +2, and in that case an alley kick is guaranteed. So if you manage to pull this off, the total damage is actually higher than the Figure 4. And finally, change number 14, we got a new move. It is a just frame and it does have good OK, but rather than discussing it here, you might as well watch my full video on it. Now putting all that together, it's clear that King has been buffed. The nerfs are minor and the buffs more than make up for it. How he compares to the rest of the cast, I don't know, but in my opinion it's a happy time if you're a King main. Now looking ahead, there will be more King videos coming, so keep your eyes peeled for those. In the meantime, have fun, play well, and I'll see you guys in the future.